Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Pagan, and in today's lesson we're going to solve for an angle in a triangle. We will first set up our trigonometric functions using the triangles right in front of us and use inverses to solve the equations. Let's go ahead and get started. In example 1a, it says solve for the angle in a triangle. So we're going to go ahead and solve for angle x. Before we do that, I like to put my eyes here so that I know that I'm looking through this triangle through the eyes of x. And I know that x is opposite of me because it's across, so this is my opposite side. And I know that since 11 is across from 90 degrees, 11 is going to be my hypotenuse. All right, once again, I have to identify the trigonometric function that responds to opposite and hypotenuse. So I'm going to just go ahead and write sine is opposite divided by hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite divided by adjacent. Since I have opposite and hypotenuse, I know I have to use my sine. So we're going to write sine of x equals 6, which is opposite side, divided by 11, which is hypotenuse. Now we're going to go ahead and solve for this. And in order to solve for it, we have to get rid of sine by doing sine inverse on both sides. Sine inverse and sine cancel. And x is equal to sine inverse of 6 divided by 11. We're going to go ahead and put that into the calculator, but before we do, let's just really quickly check, make sure our mode is in degrees, and in this calculator it is. If it's not, go ahead, go on top of degree, press enter. I like to just do it twice just to make sure, and then go ahead and quit out of there. Now it's in degrees. So we're going to go ahead and do sine inverse, which is second sine, and put our fraction in there. And then we're going to close the parentheses and get 33 we'll round it to the 100th place, 0.06 degrees. Notice that we're always adding that degree in there. So we have solved for the first x variable. All right, let's look at the second one. The second one is not, it's kind of like lopsided, so you have to be really careful. Once again, we're solving for angle x, so here are my eyes looking through. And I noticed that 5.8 is right across from me, so this is my opposite side. And 90 is right here, so across from there, that's my hypotenuse right there, which I have no information about. So I'm going to erase it because I do get confused sometimes, so I don't like to have extra information if I don't need to, which means that 12.3 is my adjacent side. All right, what information has opposite and adjacent? Well, it looks like tangent has opposite and adjacent. So we would say tangent of x equals opposite first, so 5.8, divided by the adjacent side, which is 12.3. And then we're going to go ahead and solve this. Now, we do tangent inverse on both sides. So we're going to do tangent inverse on the left side of the equation as well as the right side of the equation. Notice that we're always putting the inverse once again on the left side of both sides. 5.8 divided by 12.3, and tangent inverse cancel each other out, leaving us with x equals tangent inverse of 5.8 divided by 12.3. And we're going to put that into the calculator. So we do second tangent 5.8 divided by 12.3. Make sure you're doing this with me. It's very important that you get the calculator practice. Our answer is 25.25 degrees. And that's our final answer. Great job on that. All right, we have one last problem we got to go over before you're going to do some practicing on your own. So let's look at this example right here. Once again, it's not straightforward. It's very skewed. So we're going to go ahead and say, hey, our eyes are right here at x. And I know that this is across from 90 degrees, so 13 is my hypotenuse. And 10 is right next to my eyes, so that's my adjacent side. And now the question becomes, which trig identity has adjacent and hypotenuse. Well, we know that cosine has adjacent and hypotenuse, so we're going to go ahead and write cosine of x, which is where we're looking at it from, equals adjacent side, which is 10, divided by the hypotenuse side, which is 13. And we're going to go ahead and do cosine inverse on both sides. Cosine of x and 10 over 13. So we did cosine inverse on both sides, making sure cosine inverses are on left. Cosine and cosine inverse cancel out, leaving us with x equals cosine inverse of 10 over 13. We're going to go ahead and type this into the calculator, and then we're good to go. Second cosine inverse, 10 divided by 13. Close that parenthesis, press enter, and we have 39.72 degrees. And that's the angle that we were looking at from. All right, great job today, everyone. Great work. Now head on to the tables and practice some of these concepts on your own. Make sure to check your answers before you attempt the quizzes. Great work.